pecan bites. Oh, those are beautiful. I think you play it again so that they can see it, even the people who got the recording.
Okay.
Those do look yummy.
The ladies that had these at Cooking Well with Diabetes said they were awesome.
Okay.
That's a Cooking Well with Diabetes recipe? Wow.
Sorry, they're cinnamon walnut bites.
All right, you guys ready to get started?
Let me play this one more
Mindy
time.
said they're delicious.
Yeah, Mindy's had them.
Cool.
Sorry, my email's on.
All right, if you want to stop sharing that, Boogie, we'll get started.
Well, can they?
Oh, you want it? Run it again? Sure.
One, please.
You got it.
Since it's
Oh,
so
Mindy, you made them too?
Yes, Mindy was in our class.
Awesome.
Is that Michelle? I guess so.
I don't know who that is. It's Sarah.
Yes, that's Michelle.
Show who? Oh, doing the recipe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, is that good, Karen?
Yes, thank you.
All right, you guys, we're going to get started. So welcome to lesson 10. Lesson 10 of 12. So we're glad you're still here. I know 12 weeks is a long time. Today we're going to talk about identifying tips to, oh, what was I going to, there was something you wanted me to say before I got started, Karen.
Okay, so we wanted to talk about that how many people are pretty sure already that they're not going to make it on the last class. Okay, so I already have one here. What's the 22nd? What's today? Today's the 6th, so I had 14th, 20th. It's the Monday before Christmas. Okay, so you think you'll make it? Okay, because we're talking about there's a post, you know, there was a post survey, there was pre-survey. Well, then there's a survey. And so we want to make sure that you guys, you know, fill that out. This is the one where you use the QR code. Of course, they're going to email you, those of you who have been active and doing all the little jumping through all the little hoops that they ask you to do. They'll send some of them, more of those back to you guys. Excuse me. But we're just, so maybe next, we'll probably put up the survey today. If you've already made 9 classes, you know, then you have made 75% and you are qualified to take the post survey. And we'd kind of like to see if there's any questions or things like that we might need to, you know, add a little extra to, just so you get the answers, you know, we didn't miss anything.
And
So,
I have it ready to go. If you want to.
it's already been here. Boogie has it ready, so you'll just be able to, you should be able to use your phone.
You don't want me to just put it in the email, ladies?
Oh, that'll work too. That would
I mean,
work.
that'll work, but I would actually, if somebody would do it, I would like to see, because the first couple of questions, they may not, I don't know if they're going to know the answers to all this. Like, one of the questions says, when's the first day of the class? Well, it was 2/4/21. So I would kind of like somebody to do it to see if anybody was going to need help from us.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I could actually do it and just tell her to delete mine. So whatever works for everybody.
That's
Okay.
good information too, and I can make sure we stick those answers in the email too.
Okay. Yes. Okay, great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, so step 10, successful socializing. We're going to talk about tips to stay on track when you are socializing, learning healthy preparation tips for cooking our food, identifying ways to cut my tongue is all twisted, fat and sugar from recipes. We'll also be looking at a few restaurant menus. I pulled up 3 that I think are visited frequently. I pulled up Whataburger, Olive Garden, and Chili's. So that way we can look at some of those menus. And then if you guys have any other ones you'd like to look at, we'd love to see those too. Before we get started today, I want to ask about last week. Does anybody want to share about a new fruit or vegetable that they tried, or a new way that they tried it?
So I tried a pomegranate.
Oh, awesome. A fresh one?
Yes, at the, like at the store. I saw them and I said, let me try it. And I really liked it. It was weird because I didn't know how to cut it. And so when I finally found online how to cut it, I had already made a mess, but it was fun. I think I've tried them before. Maybe I was little, but they were very bloody, kind of red, and it was everywhere. It was all over the counter.
Yes. Yeah, there's definitely some effort involved in if you like pomegranate.
Yeah, it was good. I read they're really good for you.
Yeah,
absolutely. After you went online, did you try doing it underneath water? Because they say that's one of the easier ways to, because the white part floats up, and just wondered.
I didn't see that, but that's a great idea. I want to put it on a salad because I think that's how I've seen them, but I was just eating it, like just to eat it, to see. And it was all red. The counter, I have like old counters. I forget what you call these, but they stain very easily. It was all over the counter.
I have laminate countertops and they stain also, but just tidbit, magic erasers work really well. I get lots of stains out with that.
Yeah, I just use bleach, but yeah, I usually I liked them, and I've tried dragon fruit recently, and I like that. I love it. I wish I could like buy it and know how to buy it, and but I need to do a little bit more research, like when it's ripe.
Right.
And I'm just going to give you a warning, Sarah. If you try one of those jackfruits, if they're really huge, make sure you have lots of newspaper. Make sure you go online and read all about how to process that puppy before you cut it, because it's got a lot of latex in it. It's messy. They taste delicious, but they're messy as all get out.
Is that the same as that's a jackfruit, right? I think I tried it at the store one time or something. Doesn't it smell weird?
It smells kind of weird, and I describe it as tasting basically the texture of the bottom part of a flower, like a rose petal. It's really firm, the texture of it, and then the flavor is kind of pineapple and mango, and it's delicious. But yeah, it doesn't smell as bad as a durian, though. A durian smells way worse.
And a papaya, I think I don't really like the smell of papaya.
Yeah, I can't do papaya.
It's kind of gross. All those other fruits that you named, I love.
All right, anyone else? Anyone else with new fruits or veggies?
I tried apricots.
How did you eat that?
Erica made it in a recipe with chicken and olives, and that's how I tried it.
Oh, cool.
Oh. It was very good.
Cool. All right. Did anybody cook fruits or vegetables differently than they normally do?
What did I have last week?
So I threw some blueberries into the freezer, and you eat them slower that way, so that's why I tried it that way. I heard the person talking about grapes, and I thought, yeah, that might be good.
Yeah. And so you liked it?
But not to like. They're blueberries. They're delicious.
I know. I'll throw them in the freezer if I notice that they're getting bad and I'm not going to eat them before they go bad, but I haven't tried eating them while they're frozen. So that is a good idea.
The grapes are real good frozen. I tried that too.
The grapes or blueberries?
Grapes.
Oh, cool.
The purple grapes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Is anybody weighing themselves weekly? Anyone have success they want to share?
Yep. I'm down 2 pounds. I'm happy.
Go you.
I'm down a few too.
Nice.
Donna's down 4, so she's happy too.
Cool. All right. Again, just me being me. I always want to encourage everyone to not just focus on the scale, but to focus on the activities themselves. Because when we have those healthy habits, the weight is a natural outcome. And when we focus directly on the weight, we tend to maybe not make the best choices. So focus on the habits and everything else will come. All right, so we are going to go to 10-1, handout 10-1. I will share my screen so that way, if you don't have it handy, you can see it. Let me know when you guys can see it.
It's on.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So a lot of times it's easy to stay on track when we're at home or we are in our area where we've created our little safe space, right? But sometimes we face challenges when we go out and socialize, whether that is a potluck at work or going out with friends or holiday parties. So today we're going to talk about ways we can stay on track with these social times and then what we can do. So if there's a potluck situation and you need to bring your own dish, or if you're hosting a party or a social gathering and making the food yourself, we're going to talk about choosing some healthy preparation steps. So there's a few different ways, right? We can do bake. Well, first tell me which ways we want to avoid most of the time. So what I'm going for here is like fried foods we want to maybe avoid most of the time. We can bake, we can roast, we can broil, even blanching, and we'll all go through each one of these. Steaming, grilling, and sauteing. Those are the ones that we're going to want to use more often than not. So baking, yes, go.
Can you make it bigger?
You
Like
got
at
it.
least a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Does that work?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Sure. Just tell me. So we can bake things other than cakes and pies and treats. Of course, we may want to do those. Most baking is done in the preheated oven between 325 and 425. Roasting is a simple and delicious way to prepare vegetables. Do you guys roast your vegetables very often?
I roast not marshmallows, mushrooms.
Marshmallows are also good outside.
I roast mushrooms in my air fryer pretty much every other day. I just throw them in there but I know a lot of people roast broccoli and some people really love it, especially when it gets black and it's like, that's not my favorite.
See, that's my favorite. Roasted broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, all of those. Yeah. So those are awesome. Carrots too. I know a lot of people really like the carrots.
Sweet potatoes.
Yep. Yep. And I know there's like a one sheet pan that you can do too. So if you want to throw like your chicken and veggies on there all together and just have a little, sprinkling of like olive oil and then your seasonings, you can have the whole meal just on that one sheet pan, which is really good too, if you haven't tried that. So generally it's 400, 425, something like that. And then you'll cook or you'll roast it for, depending on what you have in there, 20, 30 minutes. Boiling is another option. I laughed when I read boiling because I remembered, Karen, you said like a week or two ago that you like vegetables really mushy. So that's what that boiling reminded me of. You can also boil eggs, potatoes, pastas, right? Mm-hmm. Blanching just means that you're cooking food briefly in water. So this helps vegetables retain their crispness or their crunch and then also their bright colors. So that's another great way. Steaming So steaming, you have two pieces where you have the water underneath, and then you'll have like a basket that you have the vegetables in. And so you basically give them like a steam bath. That's another way that you can make your veggies. You can do it a lot to where you get them real mushy like Karen likes, or you can do it just a little to have them still crunchy like I like. So just depends on your preference. Broiling and grilling. So the difference between broiling and grilling. So broiling is your heat's coming from the top, and your grilling, the heat is coming from the bottom. So of course, both of those are great. Sauteing, you can use a little bit of, say, oil or water or stock in a skillet, and you rapidly cook whatever you're sauteing. So whether you want to do protein and veggies, just try to make them even, the same size. That way they cook evenly as you do it. So let's see. Let me see if we've covered this. Oh, there's some extra tips on here. So if you do use a broth, it's recommended that we use a low sodium broth. Of course, we've talked about all these dips and sauces to really look at the nutrition facts label to see if we can find some with limited or no sugar added, looking at what the fat is on there, and then using correct portion. So if we're using oil, use the correct portion of whether it's a teaspoon or a tablespoon or whatnot. When we're using grains, remember to try to use a whole grain. That way we can add some fiber in there for keeping our blood sugar stable, helping us feel full and satisfied. Also, remember that if you use the skins on the vegetables, that you are getting a lot of fiber and vitamins and nutrients in those skins too. So let me see if we're still on. Okay, we're still on this one. So reducing the fat, we've talked about this in other weeks as well. So we can reduce the fat in our recipes. We can use, if you're actually baking like a cake, I know, have you guys ever tried one of the recipes that uses applesauce instead of sugar? Or sometimes people have used like a diet soda instead of sugar, some different options.
I thought it was oil in place of the, like applesauce.
Use the applesauce in place of the oil. Yeah.
It's both, though, yeah.
Okay.
Has anyone tried those?
Long time ago.
Long. Yeah. Yeah. So
Mindy says she uses applesauce in her banana bread all the time.
Oh, cool.
How much, like, what's the ratio, I wonder? Like, if it calls for like a cup of oil, how much applesauce do you use?
I think you can cut it by half. So if it says a cup of oil, you would put half a cup of oil and half a cup of applesauce.
Okay.
Lynn, there's a thing showing up in the middle of your post.
There we go.
Thank you. Okay,
You
thank
got
you.
it.
Mindy says
I would look that up. I don't know the ratio. I would have to look it up.
Yeah, I'll probably Google it.
if you look, Sarah, if you look in the comments, Mindy says she just completely replaces the oil with applesauce.
Wow. That's a lot of calories. I mean, that's a lot of fat.
That you're saving.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So I think it helps a lot to do experimenting, if you can do that, cutting the sodium, cutting the fat, and you can reduce that by a third or a quarter or half and see how you like it, if that works for you. Adding herbs and spices and citrus zest instead of sugar. So those are all some different things that we can do. Let's go to a guide when eating out. How's that, Karen? Is that good?
Fantastic.
Okay. So a guide for eating out. Here are some tips that we'll go over it before we hit up some of the menus. So plan ahead and compare your choices. So if you know you're going to go to a restaurant, you can look at the menu to see, okay, well, here's what I normally order. here, I may not want to eat those things, so let me make this choice. You can eat smaller, lower calorie meals. If you're going to, say, a holiday party at a home or a place where there's big tables of food, we can try to not rush to the food table, staying away from standing there. Some of us are grazers, and if it's there, I eat it even if I'm not hungry. I don't know if any of you fall into that category, but if I stay away from it, like out of arm's reach, that can be really helpful. Keeping your portions small, so using a smaller plate, and then just sampling is another tip. Not forgetting the importance of exercise. So if you can walk to a location, I know some of us don't have those options based on where we live, but if there's an option where you can walk a couple blocks before and after, that's another great thing. And then just have fun. Don't worry about, that you made a bad decision. It's not great to necessarily label things that good or bad. It's just food, and we are enjoying. Focus on the healthy habits. All right, so if we look at the handout, plan ahead and compare choices, decode the menu. So look at and see if things are baked or broiled or poached, or ask. I know some of us are not really comfortable or confident asking lots of questions or asking for alternative methods, but you absolutely have the right to do that. One of my kids called me a Karen the other day at a restaurant because I asked for something.
There's nothing wrong with being a Karen.
But I didn't think it was bad. And I told them, like, it's good to ask for what you want, right? Or what you need. So anyway, I just want to encourage you to ask for what you want.
You're paying for it too, so it's not like you're
That's
you
right.
know, asking any more of people.
That's right. Yeah, I know. Splitting a dish is another good one. So many times when we eat out, the meals are huge. They're served on a platter. They're at least enough for 2 people. So depending on where you go, you can always share it. Or some people are really great about asking, "Hey, can you put half of it in a to-go container for me?" Visualizing your plate. So if we think back to my plate and we focus on having a protein, a carbohydrate, whole grain, and then half of our plate fruits and veggies, maybe with a low fat dairy on the side. So that can be helpful too. Looking at our fruits and veggies, we already talked about sauces. Do you guys have any other tips for dining out or going to holiday parties or work events or anything like that?
Well, B said avoid the chips and the hot sauce, or the chips and the dip is what she said. I don't know if she meant the hot sauce or the cheese dip, which is what yeah. Okay.
So is that because it's kind of like you just don't stop? Like it's one of those things that you just...
Oh, she said because then she gets full eating the chips. And so then you don't eat your lunch, or do you eat that anything? Okay. Oh. Yeah. It's for me, it's addictive. I mean, it's like you put it in front of me. Yeah, it's gonna eat.
Me too. And that's another really great point, is about appetizers, or when things are brought to your table in advance before your meal. So whether it's chips and dip or chips and salsa, or like the bread and oil, or whatever it is that they bring to your table, that's a really great point. You can just say, no need to bring that to our table, and just focus on your meal. I have read studies that show that when we have appetizers, we actually tend to eat more, which is interesting, because I think a lot of us will say that, like we eat our appetizers and then we're not hungry for our meal, but just an interesting tidbit. So let's look at, can someone tell me what they normally get at Whataburger? I want to see if we can look at this and see if anyone may want to change their mind after looking at the nutrition information.
I'll go.
Okay.
Double meat Whataburger Junior.
Double meat Whataburger.
Number 8.
So I don't know if that makes it easier to read or harder to read.
No bun. So that will help with some of the carbs, but
Okay. So 420 calories, and this is just for the burger.
yeah,
So
that's all I get. I don't get fries.
so there's almost oh, you don't get fries. Okay. So there's almost a couple hundred calories in fat. The saturated fat. Okay. Sodium's super high. Okay. So you don't eat the bun at all.
No.
Okay. Gotcha.
So no, it's not good for me, but it sure is good sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Whataburger's good.
Sometimes.
So anyone else, does anyone else have a favorite that they get at Whataburger that you want to look at?
A bacon and cheese what? Whataburger.
Okay. So a bacon and cheese Whataburger is number 5 right here. So 750 calories just for the burger. 37 grams of fat. Over 1,900 grams of sodium.
So if you're on a low sodium diet, that's already taking you over the, and
You passed
2,500
your
is
daily
the,
limit. Yeah. You passed your daily limit on that one burger. So let's look at the triple meat Whataburgers, over 1,000 calories.
and Susan likes an apple cranberry grilled chicken salad.
Oh yeah, let's look at the salads. Sometimes the salads can be deceiving. Okay, so apple and cranberry salad with chicken?
With chicken? Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So I'm wondering, I'm curious if they have the dressing on this, because the apple and cranberry salad with chicken has 380 calories. Still has 780 grams of sodium, 12 grams of fat. So that's a good choice. I'm curious. You'll have to look at.
I can't imagine it has that it has the salad dressing on it.
Yeah, I don't think it does either. But that's a good option. The other thing I've heard that's a good option, and I haven't looked at it, Boogie, this was from your predecessor, was the chicken fajita tacos were a good choice. Yeah, calorie wise, they're good. Sodium's really high though. All right, anyone else? Oh, here's the dipping in sauces. So if for that salad, what kind of sauce or dressing does she get?
Honey pepper vinaigrette, she said.
Okay. So that adds another 90 calories. And
Low fat honey pepper.
yeah, it's right here. Low fat honey pepper vinaigrette. So it adds another 90 calories if you use the whole thing. And then 3 grams of fat and 460 grams of sodium. So does anyone ever look at these menus before they go out to eat to make a choice?
I do now.
Good. All right. What about drinks? I think the drinks always blow me away.
Water.
So anybody still drink sweet tea? Or let's see, a large sweet tea. And Whataburger sizes always blow me away too, because I think their sizes are bigger than what is in my head. And so I've ordered a large tea before, and the cup is really big, but this is a really good visual. A large sweet tea is 610 calories.
Can you make it a little bit bigger?
You got it. That's for 44 ounces. So that's a huge one. So again, if we can just reduce the sweetness by a little bit, that habit will add up. So, go to half and half and then slowly decrease if that's a goal for you. Let's look at the shakes. Anybody like the Dr. Pepper shake?
Mm-mm.
No way.
So we got 870 calories, 22 grams of fat. So the drinks always get me. They blow me away as far as like how much is in there because they're so quick and easy to drink. You don't realize how many calories you're drinking. So you can have like this one soda can be as much as your meal, you know? All right, so that's Whataburger, and so you can look at theirs. Let's look at Chili's. Does anybody have anything that they tend to eat at Chili's?
I think it's the margarita chicken or something like that.
Margarita chicken. All right, we're in alcohol up here. This is cool too because a lot of times you don't see this kind of stuff on the bottle, you know, unless you have the whole package. So this is cool that you can see the alcohol as well.
What did you type in to find this, Lynn?
I just typed in the name of the restaurant and then nutrition.
Okay.
And so the menu will come up.
Okay.
And so this is just the full menu that popped up for. So these are all the drinks. What's a Togo cup? Anyone know?
To
To
go.
To go.
Oh. Looks like Togo to me. I always thought there was a new thing.
Yeah. They didn't put a space there. Like
All
my
right.
typing when I text.
All right. Oh, look at these ribs, you guys.
Oh, wow.
My favorite are those burger bites.
Is that on here right now?
Oh, I don't see it yet, but
Okay.
There's the
What am I
burger.
looking for
that
again?
one-
Margarita chicken.
oh, I think it's chicken margarita. My mom always gets it, and I think, oh, that could be a healthy. But I always stick
better
to
for
the
us.
small steak because there's less calories in that steak than anything else on that menu.
I'm determined to find that margarita chicken now.
Oh, there it is.
There it is, margarita grilled chicken. So I don't know what it
And
is.
Yeah, and then I meant to say that mango chili chicken. That's what we always order. That mango chili
Okay.
chicken.
And is it just like a grilled chicken with a sauce or?
Mhm. Yeah, it's got some. It's almost like a mango salsa on the chicken.
Okay. So one thing I wish that they showed here was, and I guess on all of them, was how much and what the ingredients were, just for my own personal preference. Like, do you know if you're getting 4 ounces or 6 ounces or?
Look at the sodium on that. Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I wonder why, you know, like if we had the list of it, I wonder if you could figure it out. Or I'm sure you could, you know. What else? Anybody want to look at anything else on this Chili's menu?
What are those burger bites? Look for burgers.
Okay, burgers.
Oh, you passed it.
Are they an appetizer though, or starter?
Did I go the wrong way? Okay, there's
Yeah,
beverages.
you're going back up. Yeah, go back down.
Pizzas, starters.
There they are.
This Big Mouth bites.
Yeah, big mouth bites. 7.
So do you know how many you get?
Yes, you get 4.
Okay. So they're roughly 200 calories a bite. If you get 4.
Yikes.
And
I'll
then the
split it with
sodium.
my dad though, so he gets 2, I get 2.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fat's really high. 54 grams of fat. Are they fried?
The burgers, are they fried? Yeah, they're on the grill.
Well, I was just wondering why this fat content was so high. The Big Mouth bites, I was wondering if they were fried or maybe they use a
It has
fattier.
cheese. It has cheese on it, so I'm sure that adds
Gotcha.
to
Yeah.
the fat content.
Gotcha. So here's some fries. Texas cheese fries, almost 1,800 calories and 122 grams of fat. 1,100 calories in fat. Let's see, what else? Oh, here's the oh, that's a kid's. I was like, burger bites are good, but they're, and that's a good point too. Is like sometimes the kids' entrees are actually a good size for us, and some of these things look a lot better than these other big calorie numbers. So
And then I just wonder, is the burger bites, that's just for the burger bites, or is that the whole dish with the fries?
I think this is just the bites because down here, there's sides. So then you could do your side of home style fries, right? Here's another 200. Our corn. Yeah. So Guiltless Grill, I'm guessing that is their healthier options.
Mhm.
So good to look at and have an idea of what that means for them. So your mango chili chicken is on there, as well as your margarita chicken. Anything else you guys want to look at this one before we go to Olive Garden? See if there's anything else that jumps out at us. Caesar salad looks good. Did I hear a bunch of sighs and ews on that one? Sandwiches without fries.
How
So
about
those
the veggie burger? The black bean burger, I think.
Did you see me pass it yet?
I didn't even see it on there.
And it's a burger.
Yeah, I think it's like the old-fashioned burger. I think you just have to ask like the style of it, but it's a black bean burger, thinking it's all healthier, but it's probably not.
It
There
could
it
be.
is. There it
sounds
is.
like could
There it
be.
is under substitute. Wait,
Okay.
black bean patty, 200. Sodium is kind of high.
Yeah, lots of times those are, but the calories look good.
Mm-hmm. But then you add cheese.
Sure. And that's the thing. And so that's why you can play with this and look at it and say, okay, if I do this, these are my options. I wanted to see what was on this last page. Okay, so here's the dressings. And so always remember, sometimes if you look at the salads, they'll throw like a fried chicken on there and then you put the dressing on there. And so then a lot of times you're over the fat and calories that you would if you just had a burger, So it's not always just about our thought process of what is a healthier choice. Sometimes we need to look at it with data and try to make sure that we're getting that balanced plate. And so they have some good.
We're getting hungry over here.
Our
Just
good
saying.
sides. Okay. Okay, let's go to Olive Garden and then you guys can go walk off your. Is this the right one? Okay, so you asked how I found it. So this one, I just went to Olive Garden and then they have nutritional. So you just click on the nutritional menu.
What I like about them too is they have all their calories on their menu, and I know a lot of them do, a lot of restaurants do, but it's just really obvious to me on Olive Garden.
Yeah, I do too. I like that. Okay, so what are some favorites?
Bigger, please. Thank you. Breadstick, one breadstick. What does it cost?
One breadstick. 140 calories.
And chicken gnocchi soup and eggplant parmesan. Okay, yeah. We all have favorites here.
Chicken and ganache soup, is that what you said?
Gnocchi, yeah. One serving, 230.
Mm-hmm.
And then eggplant parmesan.
On that. That's super high.
Oh, how bad?
1,290. And I'm curious to know, I wish they told you what the serving size was. Like, is it a cup?
It's a bowl. It's about a cup and a half when I eat it.
Okay. Zuppa Toscana, I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what was your other one, Karen, that you asked for?
Eggplant parmesan.
We'll keep an eye out for that. Let's see. That was soups and breadsticks. Here's pastas. So again, the sizes is where my question goes to this, because I feel like some of those bowls are rather large, right? Which is more than what a serving of pasta would be. So I'm curious if this is the one serving and you're being served 3, you know? That's just my question. Not to pop anyone's bubble.
There's eggplant parmesan right there. Whoops, you missed it. Lunch size is 660. Dinner size is, what does that say? 1,000?
1,060.
1,060. Now we know.
Yeah. So that's like 2 meals right there.
That seafood Alfredo, I've gotten that before.
What is it?
The seafood Alfredo.
Okay. And is it easy to consume the whole portion
Oh,
that you're
no.
given?
No, I
It's a
mean,
lot.
I've never finished the whole thing. I mean, I'll finish it throughout the day because I'll have it for lunch and then I'll
Sure.
have leftovers later, but
Yeah. Warm Italian donuts. I don't know what that is, but it sounds good. Also never heard of chocolate brownie lasagna. Anyone have that?
Nope, but yep. That sounds
All right. So just a reminder, utilize the tools and resources that are given to you, right? So if you have access to the internet, you can look up some options. You can look up some of the places that you're going to. And if you're going to go to a place that doesn't have it listed like this, say you have a favorite Mexican restaurant around the corner, you can kind of look and get an idea, you know, based on what you think is in it. So you can utilize different food tracking apps, or utilize another restaurant that may be similar to look at to see if you may want to make a different choice, or if you're all in, you know, just utilize those resources. So this week's challenge, try one of the healthier techniques on a recipe at home, whether you're trying to make a substitution or use a different method, say broil instead of fry. The air fryer is a technique that I keep being told about. I haven't used yet. I know, Karen, you are loving that air fryer. So try the healthier techniques. What, Karen?
I do love it, and but I don't use it nearly as much as some of my friends, man. They throw everything in there.
Yeah. So that's one. And then the second challenge is, if you go out to eat somewhere, select either a healthier dish or try to make a healthier substitute. So if you get, say, your burger, maybe you can have a fruit or a veggie or a salad instead of the fries. I mean, whatever it is for you, we're all in a different place. Or if you're looking to cut back sugar and you drink soda or tea, maybe you can do half and half. You know, figure out what works for you. Next week, when we start class, we'll talk about the success of trying these 2 challenges. Do you guys have any other questions before we tell you to have a great evening?
Oh, sounds delicious, though.
We just talking about food, so get y'all hungry, huh? All right, so we will see you guys next Monday. And just as a reminder, if you guys didn't hear, there is a survey that we will ask you to complete after our last class. So we will be sending that out in an email. Any other updates, Boogie or Karen, that we need to address?
And when is our last class? I'm sorry, I missed the first 5 minutes to 10 minutes.
It's right before Christmas. So our last class is the 22nd of December.
Okay.
Look, what's today?
Today's the 6th. I'm sorry. It's not the 22nd.
20th.
It's the 20th.
20th.
So today's the 6th. The next week is the 13th. And then we have the 20th. Yeah. I don't know where I came up with
I'll
that.
be on
date.
that
I just
call
made it
from
up.
Maui.
Nice.
Yeah. It might be expensive, just saying. I guess if you do it online, it won't be, but
Right.
I'm ready to go to Maui. Take us with you.
I'm gonna
I'll
stop.
I'll turn my camera on. How about that?
Yes, please do. All right, you guys. Yeah, go ahead and stop that if you would, Karen.